Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. As you can see, I've got the FLYFANS MIG 25 FOXBAT on the CG. She's all put together, got the radio set up, got everything done. She's all trimmed out on the bench because just because she looks perfectly trim on the bench, I still need to work on the elevators. They're a little out of kilter. Or the flaps, I need to adjust them. That's simple. In fact, I can show you how to do this because I can do it because they're even. Well, anyways, everything is nice and centered. I've got her balanced. The CG is 125 millimeters from the leading edge root. This is where the wing touches the fuse, and 125 back. Right about there where my finger is, but I've got a mark underneath. I've got a 4,000 basically right in the middle of the battery tray. So, and she CG's there. If I put a 5,000, she'll rock back just a touch. But watch this. When I put the gear down, this is what I'm hoping. I want a slight rise in the nose if I put the gear down. And just a little bit of a rise. Okay? So that's going to assist with landing. Okay? I put the CG, put the gear back up, and she goes back to level flight. That's perfect. Alright, now to show you what that translates to give you a landmark, okay, is underneath the wings. Okay, see these little black marks here? That's what I put there. But if you look for that decal and come in right there, you can see that little opening there. That's where that spar is. That black mark's right in front of that. So if you put your fingers right in front of that spot, just find it right in front of there. Okay, it's just she should CG is perfect for you right there. All right, so that way if you're at the field, you know what to feel for. Right in front of that opening there. All right, put the gear down. All right, this gear, the lights in this thing is stellar. But look how beefy this gear is. I mean, this is some strong gear. Now, don't have the, I didn't try the ordnance on it, but let's go ahead and show you how to, let's look at those, look at the flaps. Okay, let's go ahead, see how they're a little uneven on both sides. All right, I'm going to show you how to fix that electronically by increasing the travel in that negative direction. Okay, all right. Well, you're going to have a hard time seeing. I'll put it like that. No, you know what? We'll just do it this way. Maybe you can see it better. I'll leave it like that. All right, you can see how the flap is a little down, and that's 100% up according to flap. So what you're going to do, you're going to go to your travel screen. Okay. All right, servo setup, travel. My roller is very sensitive. Okay, figure what's okay. So that up position is the flaps up. So what if I do and I increase that. Keep increasing, keeping an eye on the flaps. Look, as I increase that, look how they're evening up now. Okay, that took it up to 100. I'm just gonna make it 125, and that looks like it is pretty even all the way across. Let's bark it back down to 120. How's that look? Now see, let's get right behind here. As you can see, that's pretty much even. So now while we're here, so now I got my rates and everything. While we're here, let's look at rates. Now, I got it on switch G, where I like, and this is by the book. Okay, this is aileron. Okay, and that is the high rates. That is the mid rates. Now I had to pick a mid rate because they gave you a low rate of 80%. And they gave you a high rate on ailerons of 105 by the book. And by the way, I got the book online. I went to the Banana Hobby website, went to this plane's page, and downloaded the manual and put it up on the screen. That's how I did that. And that's fine. That works out. But that's aileron rates. Okay, let's change to, like I said, this is exactly what the book says. Elevator. My low rates, according to the book, was 80, and I like 30% expo. I picked a mid rate of 90 and then a high rate of 100, and that's what the book said. Okay, 100 rate of 100. Okay, let's go to rudder. High rate and rudder was 100%.
Mid rate.
Mid-rate I picked 90. And low rate I picked 75. And that's what the book said, low rate of 75. So you've seen it. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, low rates, aileron. Okay. Low rates, elevator. Believe it or not, that's low rates. And low rates, rudder. Okay. Mid rates, aileron, which is my 90. Mid rates, elevator. Mid rates, rudder. High rates, aileron. 105 on the aileron. 100 on the elevator. And I think 75 or something. No, 100 on the rudder. Okay. So that's the rates. Now I'm sorry if I'm talking too loud. I'm right above the microphone. For the flap system, they wanted a low rate of 70 and a high rate of 100%. So that would be the takeoff, and that's about what that equates to on a spectrum, is a positive 50.
Landing flaps.
And then landing flaps would be a positive 0, and that's what it looks like. And that's I want to say that was 100% flaps. Because 100% on the spectrum. For takeoff flaps, I have 50% positive, and then for landing flaps, 0%, and that's how it looks. Now, as far as knowing the flapped elevator mix, I just will have to figure that out when I fly it. I'll start with nothing and then work it in as I go. But anyways, that is a really good looking model. And every model I've got that's got these full floating stabs, especially if the stab is really close to the wing, you're going to have a lot of deflection in order for them to be effective. Look at your MIGs and everything. They have a lot of throws. But if this was further back, then you wouldn't need as much. But yeah, the plane feels, my overall impression, the plane feels solid. It feels, I like the design. I like the way it went together. It is tight. It goes together tightly. The one peripheral that you can add other than the missiles is the nose cone pitot tube. And it's just a little pitot tube. It fits in very tight, so you have to shave a little bit of plastic on that. And the ordnance, I haven't put the ordnance on yet. This is the longest fuel tank I have ever seen. Alright, but there you go. That is the FLYFANS MiG-25 FOXBAT. And I'm very impressed with it. Now, there was a drawback. If you're wanting to use a gyro receiver, you're going to have to get all the gyros and everything set first and then kind of guesstimate where you're going to put your receiver. Because where they want you to put your receiver is back up in here. Well, and I've already taken it outside. I end up going with an AR620 that has no kind of stabilizer or gyro in it because it fits so well. And you got your ESCs, your fans are back here, servos are out here, your front gear is up here. So there's nothing in this area of structure. And I took it out, and I got the 95 to 100 feet away, and which is what you're supposed to go 30 meters. Well, I got 100 feet away, and she never dropped a bar. I mean, I'm putting her in circles and everything. She never dropped a bar in signal. So good, strong signal with an AR620 right there. What I was getting at, though, you could run extensions and put the receiver up here, but then you're over the retracts, and then you're going to have a hard time running your antennas. So if you're going to have an antennaed receiver, then I suggest get it in there in such a way, but you're going to have a hard time routing your antennas. So antennaless receiver is great because you got to shove the receiver back in this way or shove it in this way, and now you're going to have a hard time running your antennas. So that's why this particular model is tailor-made for an antennaless receiver. Or if you don't really care about that, just shove it in there and hope for the best. Now, I was almost to that point, but no, I don't want to lose it. Now, the XT90 is very loose. You can use an EC5, but I do suggest getting a real strong adapter on it, because this just barely pulls apart, and that can vibrate loose. Okay, so I will use a nice tight adapter on that, just to make sure I don't have a problem. But other than that, other than the receiver placement being an issue with your antennas, trying to run your antennas, and the fact that it's a little wonky on putting the elevators on, you saw me, the push rods, I had a hard time with that. But other than that, man, this thing is great. It feels solid. It does not give me that cheap impression that I got from the L39 or the SU-27. And I have had to eat my words. I've actually got several videos done that I just haven't uploaded of me flying both those planes. And every time I'm just loving it more and more. And I'm thinking, man, why do I keep calling it cheap? It is not cheap. It felt light and airy to me. I mean, I guess I'm just giving the wrong impression, but they fly great. They fly great, perform great, they're holding up great. I've had some terrible landings, and the gear on the Special S-27 and are really holding up well. This thing here feels like it's going to be great. The CG was real simple to figure out, and just buy the book, and everything seems to fall right in place. I was worried about this battery hatch. I've had people lose their battery hatch, but maybe they learned that and they upped the game, because this hatch, it's in there. I mean, it's in there pretty good. So I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I'm happy with it. So, all right. Well, folks, thank you so much for watching. We covered CG. We covered the book rates. We covered the issues with a receiver. You can use a antenna receiver, but I would suggest getting a satellite and moving the satellite somewhere else. That is an issue, but if you're okay with antennaless receivers, which I am, it's tailor made for those. And if you wanted a self-leveling, and you could build your little wooden tray and put an AR630 in there and slide it right in there nice and flat, and do your forward programming and everything, and boy, you'd be jam up. So I'm looking forward to getting this out today, later this afternoon. It's early Saturday morning. It's like almost 5 a.m. But I work at night, so I stay up all night. You know, I usually go to bed when the sun comes up. I'm like a vampire. But yeah, I'm very happy with this FOXBAT. And the only other thing I'm going to do is give her a clear coat and then go fly her. All right, y'all have a good, and don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless y'all. And Banana Hobby, I like it. I like it. And I like it. Y'all have a good, and don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless. And don't forget, faith, family, and friends, and them Cold War era jets. Bye-bye. All right, this will be part of the radio setup. I'll insert that. When I put the battery in and bound up the plane to the receiver I've just used to test it, and I hit throttle, here's what I heard. Here, one motor's not working, okay? That's obviously not a right kind of sound. So I took the EDF cover off, and let me show you what I see. If you look up in there, you can see that bare metal down there? Some of the ESC wires are not hooked into each other. They've just got partial connection. And that is a tail. So don't think your motor's burned up. Don't think that, oh, the ESCs are bad. Go in there and make sure that all the ESCs and all the bullet connectors are all in there together. And if I have enough room, I'll maybe put some tape or something on it, or take it out and put shrink wrap on. But I'm going to make sure if they pop in pretty good, then I'll be okay. If they fit tight, that's just put in the factory, and you know, you got 10 people working on them at a time. So that's an easy fix. That's not a deal breaker. I just want to throw that in there. I'll fix that, and I'll include this in the radio setup video.